Yo, it's Jazzy Jazz with Lee Bailey's EURweb.com Spotlight. I'm kicking it with Lil Meech. He plays his dad, Big Meech, Larry Hoover, in BMF. That's 50's latest from the Power Universe. Streaming now on Stars. And some of the other actors stop by too. Check it out.
In his family.
Yo, it's Jazzy Jazz with Lee Bailey's EURweb.com Spotlight. We are chopping it up about BMF, Black Mafia Family, which is on Stars on Sundays. Yo, this is bringing the heat. You know, 50 Cent is really bringing the heat with this one. I think because it's not fictional, it is real life. It's a story of Big Meech and Southwest T and how they rose to be, you know, to rule the drug game, basically. You know, the rumor is like they made $120 million. What? I don't know if that's true or not, but they made a lot of money. And you are the nemesis in this story. You are intense. You bring the heat. So we are talking with Kofi. Tell me your last name again, my brother.
Abrefa.
Abrefa. That's a beautiful name. The name of a king.
Hey.
Let me tell you something. You are so intense. You are so brutal. You are, I mean, I'm scared of you even when I meet you in real life because you play it so well.
No, please don't be.
So
Please.
tell me about your character. Tell us about your character.
So Lamar is basically a guy who just wants his block back, and he's gonna do anything to get that. And Meech and Terry are in the way.
Crazy. Like it's crazy. Like even the thugs in the hood are scared of Lamar.
Wow,
Right?
boy. Well, no, he does do a lot of crazy stuff. So
Crazy thug. Tell us the craziest thing Lamar does. Give us just a little bit of tea.
I don't want to give away no spoilers though. But
A little one.
a little one.
Yeah, a little one. I just want everybody to understand what I'm talking about.
Put it this way, he doesn't discriminate about who he needs to get rid of. Without saying too much. I think it's like episode 6 or something like that, maybe. Yeah, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to.
Okay, so when you say he, like, is it someone that you would say is surprising that he gets rid of? Someone that he loves that he gets rid of? Like, what makes that so crazy?
just like how cold do you have to be to get rid of that person?
Yeah.
Basically.
No, he's a cold cat, but then he has this other tender side when it comes to the relationship with his daughter. He is like, you know, he loves his daughter, not even his birth daughter. He loves his daughter.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Look
What
who we
up,
got.
though?
How you doing? That's my boy. Come on. It's my guy.
Yeah,
Shining. How y'all
move
doing?
over just a little bit so we can see you. This handsome brother just joining us. Yes. But thank you so much,
crazy man right
Kofi.
here.
Yeah,
crazy
no,
man
I was
right
just saying he brings the heat. You know what I'm saying? But so we are now joined by Lil Meech, who is Big Meech's real life son. Looks just like him.
Yes, sir.
What up, though, Lil Meech? Thank you
up,
for
though?
joining us on Spotlight.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
So tell me about your dad in the film that you play, and how you grew up very different than your dad. How did you find that character of your father, who was back in the 80s, not your father now, and bring it so real to the screen? Because you kill it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really had to talk to my dad because, you know, he made sure even when he went to jail that I went to private school. So we lived two totally different lifestyles at 15, 16 years old. He made his first $1 million at 15 years old. And he basically was telling me how it was. I had to put myself in his shoes. He used to literally was too embarrassed to go to school because he had holes in his shoes. You know, too embarrassed to walk to school. So that's why he dropped out. You know, it was just different back then. Like the hardships they faced back then in violent Detroit in the 1980s, the violence out there, they're walking over dead bodies every day. It was different back then. So I had to really put myself in his shoes and understand where it was, even in time before I could even, you know, play him. And it was crazy though, just because the fashion was different back then, the music was different, everything was different. So yeah, just the era back then, like the music, they had no words in their music. You know, it was like house music back then. The fashion,
Yeah.
yeah, the fashion was different. Everything was just different. So I had to put myself,
You,
you know,
well, I'm telling you, you play it so authentically. I mean, it's really congratulations. Now, y'all, your beef between the two of you is serious. It is serious. So, and I love
serious.
to see that you're hugging each other. It's not real.
Right? No, for sure.
But you want to talk about your beef with Lamar?
Yeah. What's actually what's great about it is in real life, like this is based on true events. So in real life, the dude Lamar was literally off the rocks, like insane. Like my dad told me this out his own mouth. Like he literally wanted to kill my dad, and it was crazy because, Lamar is like he's like the OG. He was like the legend before my dad. My dad was just a youngster starting up when Lamar was already made a name for himself, but he went to jail.
Yeah. Lamar, crazy.
Crazy. They sent him to the nut house. He got out. And what happened? What was crazy was coincidental. He had his baby mom. Well, they didn't know if his real baby or not, but they were, him and my dad were messing with the same woman. So that's what made it really crazy. Because then he really wanted to kill my dad. My dad already already the highest earner in the whole Detroit, and then he got his girl too. So it's like he really wanted to kill my dad. So that rage and that drive was different. And my dad always made sure that Randy and 50 and everybody knew that. So that's why it was crazy because we had to really find somebody that was really going to bring that Lamar that we needed to the character.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's there's some intense scenes in there. So now another thing that I thought was really interesting at the end of the day, do we see how he gets busted at all? Because your dad was sentenced to 30 years. Do we see that happen in the series at all?
But we can't really, disclose, you know,
Whether we see that or not.
yeah, whether you see it or not, just because, we don't know yet. But, keep watching, you might see anything.
Okay. But it is real life, so people know. I mean, they can Google it and see what happened. Now he's coming out in 2028. So,
Yeah,
right? Is
hopefully.
that still
It should be less than that. Right now he's still getting time taken off his sentence. That shit's on Google. They don't really know when he's
wow?
coming home. Yeah,
You haven't seen him. You haven't seen him out since you were 7,
right,
right?
right.
What do you anticipate is going to be like that first moment for you? What do you want to do that first minute when he gets out?
I just want to hug him, and I want to just, show him how much, he laid down and how many opportunities he gave me, and just really take care of him. And, him and my mom, I just want to take care of them, and it just show them how much I appreciate them, for everything they did. 'Cause my dad had, he did the best he could, made the best out of his situation.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah,
know,
you talk about how what a dedicated father he was, and you certainly didn't want for nothing because I don't know whether he had 120 million, but he certainly got some millions. So you lived a pretty good life as a kid, right?
right, right.
It's like that song in the movie, I mean, song in the series, Big Fun. Now, do you feel like you have that same spirit? Like your dad was YOLO. You only live once. Have fun. Party. Deal with the chicks. All of that. Is that you? How much
Yeah,
of your
for
dad are
sure.
you in real
I'm
life?
really, me and him really almost the same person. We almost the same, but we not. I got the same mannerisms he got. It's just certain things that I just got from him that I was just born with. But we obviously different people, but we just like the same stuff. We got a lot of common. We like a lot of the same
So
things.
you have a lot of girlfriends. So don't so they can
I don't
slide
got
up
a
in
lot.
your DM.
I don't got a lot of girlfriends. I don't got a lot of
Can't do him
girlfriends.
like that. Do you know what's crazy though? On screen, when he's like really, when he's in it, and he's in it all the time, he looks exactly like his dad. And it's not necessarily
Really?
the physical features; it's the charisma. It's the mannerisms. It's the way how his dad was just magnetic and just attracting people.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, Lil Meech is the same.
Well, and the other thing, your dad built a crew that was by and large very loyal. What do you think the secret to that was? I know we see some of that go down in the series. You know what I'm saying? How do you think he got that loyalty? Like they were ride or die.
Yeah, no, my dad got that loyalty just from being a good person and being a person that wasn't afraid to let other people look good as he wanted just himself to look good. He wanted everybody around him to look good. He wanted to give everybody opportunity to make money and be somebody and look good. That's why he still reaped the benefits till this day. I still see random people around the world that come up to me that still blows my mind. They be like, man, your dad paid for my house, man. He paid for this. He paid for my sons to go to college. He just did. He just always was looking out for people, and he didn't even. It wasn't intentional. Like he didn't look for nothing in return. He just wanted people to, people to be straight.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why he reaped so many good benefits because he, the type of person he was, type of heart he has, and that's what this show shows. Shows that he was what type of genuine dude he was. He was a family man that loved his people.
And it's an interesting kind of dichotomy, and I know y'all got to run, but just the last question. During the '80s, the community got flooded with crack, and a lot of that, of course, came through the CIA. At the same, and a lot of people's lives were destroyed by that crack. At the same time, y'all, your dad and your uncle were like, yo, we deserve a piece of the Americans, a slice of the American pie. We deserve this. We're poor. And they ended up being these brilliant businessmen that built this huge empire. How do you, in your mind, reconcile those two things?
Say it again. The question again.
So the question is, like, a lot of people were destroyed by the kind of business that your dad was in. A lot of families were shattered, lives were destroyed, as folks got strung out on crack, right? In the '80s particularly. And at the same time, if your dad wasn't doing it, somebody else would have stepped in, right? And
Right.
and for him, he felt like this is a way I can really build something for my family and get a piece of the pie. But how do you feel about those two? It's like, the A and the Z, the alpha and the omega of that. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's a product of your environment. Like in the 1980s, back then there was no chances for. It was no like. It was no. It was no. It was not easy for somebody just can go get a good job at Google or something. Like
Right.
back then it was only crack in the streets. It was poverty. It was parents still working 3 or 4 jobs and not being able to take care of their bills and sons and daughters needing food. So what do? The only result is to sell drugs.
Man, we got a product that
Thanks for kicking it with me and Lil Meech and Lamar. Now, we're going to be celebrating 50s BMF all month long on Spotlight. So check it out. Next episode, Cash Doll. So keep an eye on Spotlight because we're going to keep an eye out for you.
robbed or even killed as part of it. The rules always been the same. Ain't no other way. And the competition.
Now, fam, don't forget to subscribe so I can keep bringing you these conversations. Let's go, let's go.